Hey everyone, it's Ivan, kitbadger.com, out here with my course loadout from the Presscheck no-fail pistol and rifle course. The classes were basically back-to-back. They took place at a sheriff's range up in north central Washington, I guess, about 3 hours from Coeur d'Alene. And never know what kind of weather you're gonna get. Weather changed a bunch pretty much throughout the day, every day. But start with layers, stuff like that. Ground up. I ended up wearing these. These are my Primal Zen from Lems. They're great. Reviewed them before. I really like them. One day it rained and they got totally soaked. Like basically just this down. Actually, it rained pretty much every day. But one day this huge downpour that we got stuck in, they ended up getting wet. Fortunately, I had other clothes in my car because I was like, who knows what the weather's going to be like. These right here, these are the, if I can remember the name, Outlander. Thank you, Lems. Lems Outlander. They are basically a waterproof, kind of zero drop minimalist boot. Work good. I wore them for the rest of that day, but other than that, pretty much wore those for those 4 days straight. And pants. My favorite pants, like pocket layout, still to date, is the Raider cut by Prometheus Design Works. A bunch of, for me, useful pockets. And that was important because basically Chuck wanted you to have 5 pistol mags going up to the line, just for the sake of the period of instruction. Get things done within 5 mags, go back, jam mags. More on mags later because I only had 4, but these worked out great. I would basically drop my spare mag because only had room on my belt for 2. Drop spare mags into the pockets, feed out of there, and then day 3 basically was just feeding rifle mags out of these pockets as well. First 2 days pistol, next 2 days rifle. They worked well. I will say a couple things. One, wore these the first 2 days. I'm like, I should probably change my pants. So I did. That next day, day 3, rained, got soaked, broke for lunch, switched into these pants because they were dry, and I wore them 4th day also. And that 4th day at the end, things were getting crazy during the final drill we were doing. Pretty sure, yeah, ended up tearing the knee. Things got wild at the end, but these did a great job for me, and yeah, really like the pockets. T-shirts, was wearing kind of whatever t-shirt, trying to regulate temperature because it would get warm and then it would start to sprinkle, wind would kick up, whatever. Ended up wearing this. This is the Alpha Aura jacket, which I'm actually gonna put on right now. It's by Beyond. It's amazing, super cozy, and it breathes really well. So yeah, if the wind kicks up and you need to put a shell on, it'll keep you really warm depending on how cold it actually gets. So this did a good job for me. Then on day 4, it actually got warm and hot. So to keep the sun off, I ended up wearing this right here. This is my, I don't remember the name of it. It's basically a sun shirt by Prometheus Design Works, Helios, I want to say, maybe. And yeah, did great. Kept the sun off so I didn't have to put sunscreen on, which is nice. Keep from being all greasy. And yeah, sun shirts are handy. As I mentioned, the rain. So whether it would just kind of get cold and the wind would blow, I would throw this on, and then I would throw this on. This is a Sarma, their shell, by Varusteleka. It is basically a wind rain layer technical shell. Works great. Of course, I also brought these, which are, I don't remember the name of these. These are by Outdoor Research, had them for a long time. They're Gortex pant, like an overpant. So of course, rained, got soaked, changed into clean, or not clean, but dry clothes, threw this on, threw the shell on, and then of course it didn't rain for the rest of the day because that's how that works. Eye Pro, Ear Pro, ended up wearing these pretty much the whole time. These are my Smith Director Elite with prescription lenses. These have Zeiss lenses, really nice in there. And Ear Pro. definitely important. I actually really like these. These are my Ops Core amps. And for classes like this, it's really nice because you actually can hear everything that's going on. Range commands, Amplified Ear Pro is cool. I will say probably nicer during the pistol portion than the rifle portion, just because sometimes when you mount the rifle, these will push up. Did it ever break the seal? Not completely. Granted, these have, which I did not use, they're in FIM, near field magnetic induction, in FMI, something like that. And basically they're earplugs that you can put in, and then you click this button and now you can hear everything, even though you have earplugs in with these over them. And if you break the seal for whatever reason, hearing's still protected, which I've definitely used them before, really handy. There were a couple times when things got pretty spicy at the end during this like competition where I definitely felt it, but never actually broke the seal. So no more permanent hearing loss, yay. Which brings me to my belt setup. This belt right here is by Baer Solutions. It's pretty cool. As of filming this, I haven't finished the review, but there's basically a padded inner belt, no buckle, uses Velcro, and then of course, female Velcro on the outside, male Velcro on the inside, stays secure. You have this little Cobra buckle up front, and then working our way around, up here, this double pistol mag from Blue Force Gear does a good job. Just jam mags in there. It's not the fastest thing to shove magazines back into, but wasn't an issue in there. And moving back here, these are by MDOM. They're immediate access pouch, I want to say. They're actually, honestly, a really underrated mag pouch. I like them. And behind them, by Ridgeline, I can't remember what it's called. There'll be links to all this stuff down below. Basically, it's a little thing that essentially offsets it. It cants it, so kicks it out away from you, makes it easier to grab. Coming around the back, this right here is, I want to say, Chase Tactical. It's a dump pouch, definitely handy, especially shooting rifle, and yeah, eventually just policing stuff up, or being able to just have, actually, during the drill at the end on the rifle, was really handy because you only have so many pockets and stuff. Definitely partials went in there, eventually needed them. And then around the back, who doesn't have a battle axe on their belt? This right here is the battle axe from Amtac Blades. Why is it on here? Was there a bladed portion to the class? There was not, but I'm in the business of reviewing stuff, and yeah, this thing's actually really cool. And you can basically draw it out one-handed from, or draw it out strong side, the way it's set up here. Then moving over here, what a great holster. No sarcasm at all. This right here is the Omnivore, pretty sure, by Blackhawk. And it's a holster. One, my buddy actually over at Carry Concealment, he drilled out, I want to say this is a WOJTEK drop leg. So he drilled that out for me so it would actually fit on there, which way better than the mounting solution this comes with. And here's the thing, it's a Swiss Army knife. So it literally sucks at everything unless you don't have the right tool for the job, in which case, great, you have something. And so I was shooting this right here, more on this in a minute, but I needed a holster for it. And as much as I ideally like Safariland, this is what I could get relatively short notice that I knew would actually fit. I will say there's definitely some gaps around the trigger guard. That's what happens when you make a holster that fits like 150 guns. Whatever, it worked. I definitely hard pulled, probably me training with this thing, but that happened. And then this I actually really like. This is the thigh strap hanger by Carry Concealment. And yeah, that is my belt setup. In my pistol, I'm shooting this right here, which is the Walther PDP Pro SD. On here I have the Surefire X300 Ultra. I also have the Aimpoint Acro P2. And it's a sweet pistol. I actually really like this. It did an amazing job. Myself with it, not as good, but no, this was definitely up to the task. The factory trigger on here is incredible too, which definitely helped me do better than I would have otherwise done. One thing I will say, well, I love this thing, came with 3 magazines, which is cool. And they have this little base plate, also cool. So part of the course is you need like 5 pistol mags for basically the way that the class is structured. So I was like, all right, cool. I have a ton of PDP full-size pistol mags. Turns out they actually don't work. Like a regular PDP full-size mag won't work. Has to have this base plate. Short notice too. I was like, damn it. So looked around. The only other thing I had is this right here by Floyd Customs. And while it does work, you basically, still not in there. You got to do that to get it to seat. Suboptimal. So basically, if I'm going to shoot this gun a bunch more, I need to get some more of these base plates for all of the magazines I have that don't currently work in this pistol. But this actually did good. And then I didn't wear the belt setup on day 3, which was day 1 of the carbine class. And day 2, I was like, well, I'd rather just feed off my belt rather than out of my pockets. So I ended up wearing the belt, which put me at the 100-yard line with this pistol. I was like, why not? Ended up going, taking my time. Took me like 5 or 6 shots to hit the steel to 100. And then of course, Chuck is like, hey, let me see that pistol. Handed to him. Other strong side at 100. Took him like 2 or 3 rounds, but I was like, dang it, give me my gun back. Overall pleased with it though. Then for the no-fail rifle, I ended up shooting this little guy right here. Totally suboptimal for the course. How did I end up with this? Well, as usually happens, I look around, I say, hey, what do I need to make content on? And what do I actually have ammo for? Need to finish out some content on this, and actually had some ammo for it. I think like a spam can of like 122 grain Red Army Standard, and then a bunch of loose like Tula, who knows what grain. So I was like, well, that answers that. Probably in total like 960 rounds or something like that. So I ended up taking this to go shoot this. Suboptimal for what we were doing, but it's what I brought. So this is the Sig Spear LT in 7.62 by 39. It is a 7.4 inch, 7.62 by 39 with their K-can on here, QD, and it breathes fire, even with a can. I also was running, did a little bit of shooting with them actually, which not easy, not because of the sights, but because of everything else going on. These Scalar Works iron sights, flip down, and of course this Aimpoint Micro T2 on a Scalar Works Leap mount. Over here, not that I was using it, Kinetic Development Group, basically their little M-Lock quick detach, and then Surefire Scout Light, Vampire with the 100 Concepts light cap, and all this cool stuff down here from Valhalla Tactical. Need to actually review that, it's pretty neat. Moving back, prototype hand stop by Die Free Company, one of their Kung Fu grips, and then suboptimal single point sling, and shooting a number of different mags. Magazines were definitely a limitation. A bunch of them I have are these ASC ammunition storage components, and they're not 30 round magazines. Curriculum is basically built around 30 round mags, so I had to figure it out. Ammo management, a number of these, I think they're like 24, something like that. Then I think I had one 28 round magazine and I had one 30 round magazine. So I'd basically go between all of those for whatever I needed to do. And if there was something specifically shooting 30 rounds because it was some sort of drill, I would use that one 30 round mag. Otherwise, just ammo management. Things that came up. a number of them. One, these mags are really sharp, go to seat them. It's mostly healed now. Totally cut my hand open trying to seat these mags. Single point sling. Pretty much suboptimal for everything, especially when we get into the block on, hey, here's how to build a good shooting position using your sling. I'm like, hey Chuck, any pointers for a single point? It's like, yeah, like don't have one. It's like, ah, noted, but it is what it is. That was from Wiseman Company, by the way, their baseline single point. As to this thing, again, not a precision gun, and I did my best with it. And I found, well, one, the stock, you're only getting so much on it. One, as far as being able to run a 2-point sling, really difficult, and then especially doesn't play well if you end up folding this. You have a bunch of loose material. Granted, not shooting it like that or really carrying it much, but not a lot of room on here for a 2-point sling. And then you're just also really up on the gun with respect to any of the shooting, to include any of the precision stuff, because we ended up shooting out on paper at 100 and 200 even. And man, you're shooting steel case Russian ammo. It was pretty rough. I'm shooting, I'm like, man, I know I'm not the best shooter, but I feel like I'm better than this. Maybe I am, I don't know, but pretty rough groups at 100, and then at 200 it was just disgusting. I was like, ah, why'd you bring this gun, Ivan? But yeah, limitations of the ammo coupled with 7.4-inch barrel, so that was real. All said and done, how did all of this stuff do for me? Honestly, it did really good. Everything on the pistol side, as far as the no-fail pistol, it did good. That was definitely not an easy class, but it wasn't gear limitations that held me back. And even on the rifle side, no, I mean, I brought this and I had to shoot it. And it was pretty fun. There were definitely limitations to it with respect to just this platform and what was kind of asking it to do, but I made it work. I definitely had to earn it. And a lot of the kind of low probability stuff up close, think like 25 and in, this did really good. Once we moved back further, like diminished results, in part just random steel cased Russian ammo. So that was real. But I made it work. I actually won the little kind of event, crazy like scrambler event at the end with this gun. Again, just had to do my part, like Indian, not the arrow. But yeah, overall, I'm like, would I bring a different gun? I wouldn't. I found and realized some limitations of this setup. Not ideal for what we were doing there, but made it work. And yeah, overall just had a good time out there with all this stuff. But if you're interested, you can check out. There'll be links to everything down below. And yeah, as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.